Elizabeth Taylor reveals the unspeakable acts John F. Kennedy did to her at 15. That headline has haunted Hollywood for decades. Whispers of a secret encounter between a teenage starlet and a man destined for the presidency. What really happened behind those doors? Was it a misunderstood moment, or something far more disturbing? Tonight, we uncover the chilling allegations, the hidden testimonies, and the truth buried beneath glamour, power, and silence. Elizabeth Rosamond Taylor was born on February 27, 1932, in London to American parents. Her father was an art dealer, her mother a retired stage actress. From the beginning, her life was surrounded by wealth, culture, and elite society. But when war threatened Europe, the family relocated to Los Angeles, where Elizabeth's life would change forever. It was her eyes that captivated people first. Not blue, not gray, violet. Framed by a rare genetic condition that gave her double lashes. One look, and Hollywood was hooked. By age 9, she was signed by Universal. But after her first film, her contract was terminated. A casting director famously said, "The kid has nothing. Her eyes are too old." He couldn't have been more wrong. MGM saw something in Elizabeth that Universal didn't. They cast her in National Velvet, and she became a sensation overnight. The studio molded her like clay. They fixed her teeth, wanted to dye her hair, even suggested a new name. She refused. By 15, she was already a star. But the cost was steep. She filmed during the night, went to school on set during the day, and took dance and singing lessons in between. Childhood? Gone. Her public image was tightly controlled. Photo ops, hand-picked dates, even her first wedding, to Hotel Air Conrad Nicky Hilton, was orchestrated by MGM. The marriage lasted just 8 months. Elizabeth was only 18. Hilton was abusive and a heavy drinker. She miscarried and filed for divorce on grounds of mental cruelty. Still, the press spun it as a fairy tale gone wrong. But this was only the beginning of a long, complicated journey through love, power, and pain. Elizabeth Taylor's love life was as legendary as her career, marked by glamour, heartbreak, and scandal that captivated the world. She married 8 times to 7 men, each chapter more dramatic than the last. Her second marriage was to British actor Michael Wilding, who was 20 years her senior. They had 2 sons, but as Elizabeth's fame skyrocketed and his career faded, the relationship withered. Then came producer Mike Todd, the man she once called the love of her life. Their marriage was bold and extravagant, and they had a daughter, Liza. But their happiness was cut short when Todd tragically died in a plane crash in 1958. Devastated, Taylor turned to Todd's close friend, singer Eddie Fisher, who happened to be married to Taylor's best friend, Debbie Reynolds. The affair ignited national outrage. Headlines exploded. The Vatican condemned her. She was labeled a homewrecker, but Elizabeth didn't flinch. She married Fisher in 1959. That same year, she made a deeply personal decision to convert to Judaism, something she had long felt drawn to. It wasn't for Eddie, she said. It was for herself. Yet, her heart had already begun to drift. On the set of Cleopatra, she met Richard Burton, the man who would define her most turbulent and iconic romance. Their affair was explosive. Burton was married. So was she. But on set in Italy, their chemistry was undeniable. A paparazzi photo of the two kissing on a yacht sent shockwaves around the globe. The Vatican condemned their erotic vagrancy. The press couldn't get enough. And yet, they were madly in love. They married in 1964, bought yachts, jets, priceless art. They starred in 11 films together, argued in public, drank heavily, and divorced in 1974. only to remarry a year later in Botswana. The second marriage lasted less than a year. Elizabeth once said, "After Richard, the men in my life were just there to hold the coat." Theirs was a love that burned too hot to last, but too powerful to forget. Beyond the marriages were whispers, rumors of affairs with presidents. At just 15, Elizabeth allegedly visited Ronald Reagan's apartment to ask for a role. What followed, according to later biographies, was a troubling encounter. Some say they shared an intimate moment. Reagan, a married man in his mid-30s, was reportedly hesitant, but Elizabeth, already described as sensually mature, allegedly made the first move. Years later, she was linked to John F. Kennedy. Rumors claimed he took provocative photos of her in a swimsuit. One story even alleges a three-way affair with JFK and a member of his staff. Though unverified, these accounts point to the blurred lines between power, youth, and consent in 1950s Hollywood. Whether myth or reality, they add a dark edge to the fairy tale glamour. Elizabeth Taylor didn't just act, she turned herself into a brand. In 1963, she made history by earning $1 million for Cleopatra. It was the most expensive movie ever made at the time. The studio blamed her for delays, her affair with Burton, even their near bankruptcy. But she laughed all the way to the bank. Then came her greatest business move: perfume. In 1987, she launched Passion. In 1991, she released White Diamonds, which became one of the best-selling celebrity fragrances of all time. She made more money from perfume than acting. By the time she died, her estate was worth between $600 million and $1 billion. She also launched a jewelry company, gave away millions to charities, and never stopped working. She redefined what it meant to be a celebrity, and proved you didn't need a man to build an empire. Despite the beauty and luxury, Elizabeth Taylor lived in pain. She had scoliosis, suffered a back injury filming National Velvet, and was plagued with chronic health issues for decades. She had over 70 hospitalizations, more than 20 surgeries, and battled pneumonia, addiction, and heart failure. She was the first celebrity to check into the Betty Ford Clinic publicly, helping break stigma around rehab. She battled alcoholism, painkiller addiction, and depression. Her marriage to Senator John Warner drove her to isolation and weight gain. She wrote a diet book, got sober, got married one last time to construction worker Larry Fortensky at Michael Jackson's Neverland Ranch. Even as her body broke down, her spirit didn't. In her final years, she used a wheelchair, underwent heart surgery, and still ran her AIDS Foundation and attended public events. She never gave up. Elizabeth Taylor died on March 23, 2011, at the age of 79. The cause was congestive heart failure. She'd fought it for years. Her funeral, in classic Liz fashion, started 15 minutes late, per her own request. She wanted to make an entrance, even in death. She was buried at Forest Lawn in a private Jewish ceremony. No fanfare, no press. But her legacy? Timeless. She was an Oscar-winning actress, a business mogul, a beauty icon, a humanitarian, a rebel, a survivor. She wasn't perfect and didn't try to be. She lived hard, loved harder, and never backed down from who she was. Elizabeth Taylor once said, "I'm a survivor, a living example of what people can go through and survive. From child star to scandal queen, from near-death hospital visits to billion-dollar perfume lines, from war-torn London to ruling Hollywood, she lived it all. And through it all, one thing remained. She was Elizabeth Taylor. One of one. If you enjoyed this story, like and subscribe for more Untold Legends. And let us know in the comments. What's your favorite Liz Taylor moment? Until next time. Stay legendary. Thanks for watching.